And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes from times gone by, as we have returned with the lower bracket finals to determine who faces off against Eric in the grand finals. And here we go, in the top right hand corner of Radisson Station, for the first time in a long time, not vetoed in this best of three. We have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Maturino Esports. It is Demi. We go. Again, this is a bit of a rematch, and for those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, what is this tournament? This is the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. This is a region-locked bi-weekly tournament, region-locked to the regions of EBT Americas and EBT Asia as well. So, yeah, if you're from those regions, you can participate, you can be a part of this. And this is the last edition of this year, of 2023, because after this, we have DreamHack Atlanta, we have IEM qualifiers, and of course, Christmas. So, we don't have any more time to actually host these events for the remainder of 2023. It all ends here. If you want to support this tournament and support us coming into 2024, !Patreon. Patreon is the place to support us, to help us fund our tournaments, to help us grow them, as HonMonO is going for he's going for a third TC. A third TC before Rax, and this is the kind of shenanigans that you can whip out here on a map like Radisson Station. As greedy as possible. I mentioned before, we don't really get to see this map too often because of reasons like this. This is a very unorthodox map in the map pool. Very, very greedy, very defensive, as you have a pocket base. Not just a pocket base, there's no Reaper Cliff leading into your bases either. You have a ramp that you can wall off. You have rocks as well to help with that, and yeah, I mean, just cut all the corners, Bappy. Essentially here on Radisson Station, it's very common to get up to a 3 and even 4 base setup, uncontested. Mutaplay is viable, but we haven't really seen it have too much success on this map. We've seen a lot of Skytoss, we've seen a lot of mech, seen a lot of macro. A lot of macro here on Radisson Station. And oh my, we're going for a fourth! We're going for a third TC before Rax and a fourth Rax before Factory! Like, what the hell did I just say? Like, it's never been said before. Oh my god. So a fourth CC before Factory here. This is taking it up to 11 though. Like, you can get away with greed on Radisson Station, but this is out of this world. Thankfully, we don't go for like a 5th base before Factory. Meanwhile, back at home, Demi did go for a hatch gas pull into a 3rd. Link speed is on the way. We're droning. Demi honestly doesn't really have a way to punish this. He can send a couple of links across the map, but they're just going to be scouting links and they can be dealt with quite easily. Fun fact, HonMonO has 0 units. He went for that third CC before the Rax, right? Into Reactor. No Reapers, no Marines, 0 fighting units for HonMonO. As greedy as you can be. Oh, did I say Demi from South Korea? Ah. Demi's from India. Sorry, if I said South Korean Zerg, my apologies. That's me being on autopilot. That's my brain having a hard time this Sunday morning. Indian Zerg, my apologies. The brain is gone. HonMonO killed it with the 50 Cyclone earlier. HonMonO, he's killing it even further with this opener as well. Behind this, getting into his starport, getting into his eBay as well, we have the add-on swap. This is looking like mech. It's looking like, I mean, we're going into a 5th CC. Oh god. We're getting into a 5th command center here after the starport, before the 2nd factory. I'm assuming it's 2 factory here. Like, this is obscene. Oh my god. This is as greedy as you can get. And again, there's no punish from Demi. Demi, he's just droning. He's taking his own 4th base as well, mining to work on his 5th. It's just a race into greed, and I have to say it. HonMonO, he's beating Demi at the greed game right now. This is crazy. Just the mass amount of mules that we have available. It's it's insane. Behind this, we're getting into our Evo chambers, into our eventually 1-1 upgrades. It's not. It is not mech. I mean, it kind of is. What do we call this? It's Sky Terran. We're not going for a second factory. We're going for 4 more starports and a fusion core. Now, can HonMonO get away? That's a tech lab. Can he get away with making 4 BCs at a time? Can he get away with going 5 CC into mass BC production? That is unheard of. This is crazy. This is actually insane. We're going for the add-on swaps. Yep. Tech labs are on the way. Mass tech lab. We're not going Viking. We're not going Banshee. We are going mass battle cruiser. This is illegal. This is unironically the most illegal build I've ever seen. That's a 5th CC. That's a 6th and a 7th. A 6th and a 7th CC on the way. Oh my god. This is why this map should not be a thing. Meanwhile, Demi's been droning. He's now working on roaches. He's droned up to 75, soon to be 80 workers. 5 base saturation. The problem is that Demi's committed to Roach Ravager, and by the time he gets across the map, HonMonO, he's gonna have battle cruisers out. Aye. I see the chat. Imagine if Demi went 12 full. The thing is, 12 full doesn't work on this map. Like, 12 full is just, yeah, it's just not a good build on Radisson Station, even against a CC first. So like, yeah, like there's no, that's why you can get away with this on this map. Like, you can get away with such greedy play. I should caveat that when I say you can get away with greedy play, you can get away with like a CC first into like a 3rd CC before factory sort of thing. Not this. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is like ramped up to like 20, not even 11. Like, yeah, all the way. This is not StarCraft. And we're just banking BCs. Oh my god. He's gonna get away with it. He can't get away with it, but he will. We have drop alerts on the way. So Demi's pushing. Demi's maxed out. Demi, he's maxed on Roach Ravager. And that's the problem. That's what I'm concerned about. Demi, he's about to go for a big push at 200 supply with Roach Ravager. He's going to have very limited anti-air. How many BCs are they going to be? 4 BCs. So the question becomes, how much damage can Demi do before his roaches get cleaned up? How much damage can he deal? How many workers will he kill? As that's how many CCs. I'm afraid to look. I'm afraid. We have 7. That is the 8th and the 9th CC on the way. Here we go. The drop lords into the pocket base. We have a push towards the planetary. Planetary with repair should be able to hold on. But the BCs have to reveal themselves because that's all we have to defend. The roaches, they dive into the pockets. Ravagers towards the planetary. BCs are going to be coming in. No, they go for the base trade. No shot. BCs go for a massive base trade. They go for the lair. So they go for the hive. They go for the lair. Spire has been thrown down in the main. It's all or nothing. Planetary goes down. Pocket base goes down. Chaos ensues. And we need to look for the Spire. The Spire is in production. The Spire is the way out here for Demi. But to be fair, even if the Spire finishes, it may just not be enough. How many BCs? 8. 8 battlecruisers. We scan. We see the Spire. That's going to be the next target. That's going to be what HonMonO needs to snipe. That's the only way back here. Demi doesn't have a lair. If he loses this Spire, that's it. That's game. I mean, yeah, that should be game because we can lift. If Demi loses this Spire, no anti-air, and HonMonO can lift his buildings, the roaches cannot kill him. As SCVs are going down, we snipe the infestation, but the Spire is still alive, but we will get on top of it. Yamato is finishing up. Command centers are lifting. We still have a base mining here, or the potential to mine. We're scanning. Well, we need to make the spawning pool. No, sure, we have to rebuild the spawning pool, then the lair, then the Spire. It's just too much. It's going to take too long. HonMonO wins. Like as long as HonMonO doesn't lose his VCs to spores, he should be able to take this. And there we go. Another base is going down. Demi is down to 1 mining base. That's all he has left. Hatchery is gonna fall. He does find the last mining base here of HonMonO, but yeah, he's just mining for his natural. We're pushing it towards the last bastion of hope here for Demi. Yamato is available. There it is. Yamatos are going to be whipped out. Yeah, spores. They're going down one after the other. GG gets caught. There's nothing that Demi can do. After losing his lair, after losing his spire, nothing he could do against the mass BC. GG gets called. And the spawning pool as well. What the hell just happened? That was, oh my god. That was StarCraft. Shouldn't be StarCraft, but that's what it was. Oh my god. GG, well played. What was that? That was 5 CC before starport into 4 starports into 8 more CC. Oh, I say 8 more into 3 more CCs after that. It was 8 command centers in total towards the end. It was 8 on a 4 starport production. That was crazy. With 0 Rax units to defend, he did make 2 cyclones. There were 2 cyclones made, I believe, from the factory. Which is why I thought it was going to be mech, and that was all that HonMonO had. He had 2 cyclones and then just mass BC. I'm a little bit stunned, not gonna lie, a little bit stunned. Let's go. Don't show that to Spirit; he will try to outgreed him. True. Spirit would. Oh my god. Yeah. Alright, let's we're getting into this. As we have made the second map, we're getting into game number 2. It's going to be on Oceanborn. Now, Oceanborn, a very different map. We should be seeing a very different game here. Sorry, I didn't even update the score on the screen. I was just so... my brain was still, like, taking it in. It was still trying... It was still trying to discern fantasy from reality, you know? And we're getting there. Here we go. As we're loading into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Indian, not South Korean, Indian Zerg player representing Maturino Esports down in the series, hoping to fly back. It is Demi. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran, living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. I do think do not show that in Terran schools. Oh my god, what have we unleashed into the world? There are some Terran players watching right now that are like, yo, if I ever load into Radis's station on the ladder, I know what I can get away with, but oh no. It was illegal. When it comes to what could have been done there, I do think that the only shot for Demi is for him to have thrown down spires in every base and pray. He would have had need to throw down a spire at every single base and pray that his opponent doesn't like that one finishes. Pray that one spire finishes. And even then, that isn't a guarantee, because even then, the corruptors, even if a spire finishes, they come out from bases one at a time. He would have had limited lava because hatcheries were dying. By the time the spire would have finished, I believe the main would have been dead, the natural would have been dead, the third base would have been dead. Demi would have been down to 2 hatcheries worth of larva, and on top of that, HonMonO would have been camping the hatcheries as well. So even if a Spire finished, there's no guarantee that Demi would have survived, because yeah, like bearing in mind that the Spires would have we would have had to invest gas into the Spires, which meant the bank of Demi would have been much lower because it would have had less minerals and less gas to work with. Like, I'm just trying to theorize it myself. There would have been a chance. It would have been a chance, but no guarantee, just because of how many BCs and all the Yamatos as well. That was disgusting. So we're getting his game. You can tell that my brain is still trying to process what happened in the last game, and we're getting there. We're getting there. For now, though, Hatch Gas Pool standard opener out of Demi. Likewise, we have a 3rd CC for Starport out of HonMonO. Standard opener as well. This should be leading into a 3cc 2-on-1. This should be leading into Bioplay, which is what HonMonO does prefer to go for. So this should be leading into a standard game, something more normal, something more sane. For now, though. pray to Santa Maria, papi. Pray. Oh no! As I assumed that this was going to be a 3cc into 2-on-1. No, that is a second factory. This time it's going to be proper mech. No mass BC, no mass Starport play. We're getting to a second factory here into Cyclones. Oh boy. It's going to be mech here on Oceanborn. Once again. Not the first time we've seen this. And most likely not the last. Meanwhile, Demi back at home. Just still saturating his bases, getting into a 3-base setup. This makes me want to unveto. Oh, no. Not like this. Oh my god! HonMonO! He's crazy! What did we see? He lifted up his factory, he floated it away to avoid the Overlord Scout. We still threw down a Roach one. I think Demi still saw the... I think he still saw the factory. I think he saw it floating, but he still saw it nonetheless. So I'm pretty sure Demi is still aware of the mech, but that was wild. to float the factory away to avoid the scout. That is not something you see every day. Not something you see every day. As for now, again, we just see HonMonO working on his 4th command center, working on Blue Flame. Interesting here, because Blue Flame is on the way, he's not going into Cyclones. A little bit supply blocked, but he's not going into Cyclones. He's going Hellion Tank, a more traditional form of mech. Interesting. Now with this, of course, it's going to have a heavier tank composition. These Hellions are going to be a little bit lackluster, I feel. The Hellions, their goal here is to avoid the Roaches and to get into a mineral line. But Roaches are on the way, and Roaches, they should shut this down. As long as we have enough of them, as long as they're in position. Here we go. Hellions are moving out. Going for a big counterattack. Again, the goal here to try to avoid these queens. Blue Flame has been revealed. Yeah, we ignore the queens. We go straight for the mineral line. There are Roaches in position, and the Lings, they come in for a surround. Oh, HonMonO, he committed so much to this dive, and he loses everything. Ay, that is 10 dead Hellions. For what? For Lings. He got 1 drone. 1 worker went down. That was not worth it for HonMonO. Gets completely cleaned up. And this is a good moment here for Demi. Demi is able to saturate his bases, get his 4th without any issues. Spire is on the way for some Muta play. Demi's aware of the mech. Because he went Hellion Tank instead of Cyclone Tank, Mutas have potential. Now, what I will say, though, is that we do have a transition into Cyclones. We do have, of course, Hurricane Thrusters in production. Cyclones on the way. Cyclones, they actually do a much better job against Mutas. They do surprisingly well at shutting them down as long as they're able to get within range. That's the thing. Mutas are more maneuverable, so they can break the lock-on. But if they ever have a fight, if they ever get caught, then these Cyclones will just make short work of them. god. As yeah, we do see the Spire still in production. Demi is still unaware of the transition from his opponent. He is fanning out some lings to scout any move out, but he hasn't seen the composition yet. He doesn't know about, and he should recognize that Cyclones should be on the way, as we're committed to range upgrades. So looks like Demi is going to be going for a Roach Ravager heavy composition, but he has access to mutas if he ever needs them. Scan into the main, reveals both Evo Chambers upgrading. So HonMonO, he's aware of the ground army. As we saw before, Mass Cyclone is, again, kind of the bread and butter here of this new kind of style of mech. It's going to be 9 mutas in production, but only 9 mutas. We're still investing gas elsewhere. So these mutas are going to be designed to harass and try to pick away at workers. This natural base is looking very exposed, by the way. You can see there are turrets, but these turrets are in position to deny tunneling claw roaches. These are to defend against roaches trying to sneak in undetected, not designed to defend the mineral lines. So HonMonO clearly has something else on the mind. He's clearly wary of roaches, not mutas. And it makes sense because he hasn't seen the Spire. He's not aware. So these mutas, they can actually get quite a bit done, and we're investing a little bit harder. We have 5 more mutas on the way. That's going to be 14 mutas in total. Oh, a gaggle of mutas. Let's go. Cyclones, they rotate around to clean up quite a number of those spotterlings. I feel like we gotta go though. We gotta pull the trigger with these mutas. How many mutas do we have? We're up to 18. We're making 10 more. We're doubling down. We do have a ground army, that is true, but we are committed so hard to this, and so far, it's gonna pay off. So far, HonMonO has no idea what is happening. It's a Hail Mary play here for Demi, but it has potential. Demi has maxed out. We're getting into additional tank production. Cyclones are moving out to establish the space. Here go the mutas. How many in total? 28. 28 mutas are moving out. Scan into the natural. Does spot the Spire. Sees it researching. We know. He now knows about the mutas, but is it too little too late? Turrets are still not on the way. We can see the ground army trying to distract HonMonO. And the mutas, they go right for the CC, right for the natural. Turret's going to be going down. 14, 15 SCVs in the blink of an eye. An entire mineral line just crumbles. As we rotate back around, we get a tank. We cannot fight those Cyclones, though. We have to respect them. But that's 16 dead SCVs, a pretty good amount of damage. And how many mutas did we lose? 2. 16 SCVs for 2 mutas. I don't... but we're getting caught out. We commit to the fight, and we're going to try and trade with these Cyclones. Cyclone's going to try and kite away. They drag them into mines. Oh my god, massive mine connections. The mutas, they get annihilated. That was not the fight to take. Ay, ay, ay. That was 16 dead mutas. Dead in that fight. And Demi just lost his momentum. He had a good start, but a rough finish. And now HonMonO is going for a big counterattack. As we mentioned before, mutas cannot fight this head-on, not by themselves. They need support. We do have some Lingbane on the ground. HonMonO, he's pushing forward into Widow Mines. Drilling Claws is on the way. And HonMonO is maxed out. Snowballing out of control. This hatchery should go down. Demi's going to try to engage. He needs to trade. He's got 4k minerals in the bank. He knows he has to throw away some of these lings. Ooh. Mine shot's going to be going off the mutas. Yeah, they melt against this. Oh my god. That is 32 dead mutas. We have 14 left. As HonMonO just stutter steps his way forward. Again, this is one of the new changes to the Cyclone, and that is that they do a much better job fighting mutas head-on compared to the previous one. You can see the Lings, they try to engage here. They try to close the distance. Good use of the terrain here from HonMonO. Hiding back to the mines. The Widow Mines. No. Ooh, massive connections. And Demi loses everything. Everything does go down. Oh, I have to say this. As we do have the Cyclones collapsing on this army. GG gets called again. Demi banking it all on those mutas. Did well initially, but things very quickly turn on the tables there. And HonMonO will take it 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. HonMonO will take the 2-0. There was potential there for Demi. He did so well initially when the mutas were revealed, but chasing and trying to fight those Cyclones head on, that was the mistake. That was the mistake that Demi made, and not just that, but of course being dragged into the mines. He wasn't aware of the Widow mines at the time, and with that, HonMonO, he snowballed out of control into a win there, and he is going to the grand finals. We will have a best of 5 rematch between HonMonO and Eric. Let's go.